Science Lesson Plan Websites. Chapter 1. Science Lesson Plan Websites. sciencepage.org/lessons.htm, activities, labs, and lesson plans websites. hood-consulting.com, Amazing Science at the Roxy. This site offers a variety of science information and activities. See the teacher workroom for lesson plans on specific topics. jgeeson.de/welcomeenglish.htm, around physics, Java applets, programs, a physics quiz and information about famous physicists and physics history. eric.ed.gov, Ask ERIC Science Lesson Plans, one of the most well-known and most extensive lesson plan sites. csun.edu/HCEDU013/plans.html, Big Sky Lesson Plans. A very large number of lesson plans are available on a variety of science topics. col-ed.org/cur, CEC Lesson Plans. Check the science area for an extensive list of lesson plans. anachem.umu.se/eks/pointers.htm, Chemistry Teacher Resources, Labs, Demonstrations, Project Ideas, and Information of Interest to Chemistry Teachers. hhmi.org/cool science, Cool Science for Curious Kids. This interactive site encourages elementary students to explore science, and features hands-on science activities from 5 children's and science museums from across the country. muohio.edu/dragonfly, Dragonfly, a site designed to stimulate scientific exploration and investigation through information, and real and virtual activities. alaska.net/natenkel/staticgen.htm, Electric Blue Sparks. You'll get a charge out of this site, which is all about static electricity and devices which can generate sparks. powerof2.org/resources, Explorer, a collection of educational resources, software, lab activities, lesson plans, for K-12 mathematics and science education. www.itg.lbl.gov/vfrog, frog dissection, dissect a virtual frog. washington.edu/uwired/outreach/teched/using/science/astro.htm, Galileo, an excellent collection of science lesson plans for K-12 science teachers. thegateway.org, The Gateway. This is the science section of the Gateway to Educational Materials. A site whose aim is to provide one-stop access to high-quality internet lesson plans, curriculum units, and other educational resources. scifund.chem.wisc.edu/homeexpts/homeexpts.html, Home Experiments, a collection of experiments from Professor Shaka Shirai and his friends. wings.ucdavis.edu, K-8 Aeronautics Internet Textbook, Activities, Lesson Plans and other resources dealing with aeronautics. ualberta.ca/L Kennedy, Lesson Plan Page, a list of websites and Gopher sites that offer lesson and unit plans. coe.missouri.edu/tilde-2003/teacher/lp.html, the Lesson Plans page, lesson plans in elementary level science and other subjects. Lesson plans can also be submitted to this site. edcn.s.cmich.edu/tilde-tvontini/edlison.html, lesson plans, a nice collection of lesson plan sites. nwrl.org/sky, library in the sky, links to many very useful science resources and lesson plans in a variety of science areas. littleshop.physics.coloradostate.edu, Little Shop of Physics, several online experiments you can do. scssi.scetv.org/mim/lesblns.htm, math and science resources, lesson plans, a list of many science activities and lesson plans. mcrl.org/topics/topics.asp?topics ID =13, mcrel lesson plans and activities. Lesson plans and activities are available in a variety of science areas. ktca.org/newtons/alpha.html, Newton's Apple Lessons. Each lesson answers a specific question such as what causes acid rain or what causes the northern lights, there are extensive explanations and activity suggestions. Learnersonline.com, Online Educator, a list of super sites updated weekly. Visit the archives for lesson plan and activity ideas. atmos.uiuc.edu/left/guides/mtr/home.rxml, Online Guide to Meteorology, a set of instructional modules which introduce and explain basic concepts in meteorology. ph.utexas.edu/research_area.html, Physics Demonstration Online Resources, links to sites which offer diagrams and descriptions of physics demonstrations. mip.berkeley.edu/physics/physics.html, Physics Lecture Demonstrations, a picture library of physics demonstrations in such areas as mechanics, heat, optics, waves, electricity, and magnetism, etc. sbrtechsoftware.com/rico, Rico's Mad Scientist Lab. This site features a super collection of science experiments, listed in categories and rated according to complexity. cbt.virginia.edu/olh, the Remote Access Online Real-Time Science Experiment. Students in grades K-8 are able to view and download real-time images and actual experimental results as they are being collected in a research laboratory at the University of Virginia. Students can analyze the data and compare their ideas with those of other young scientists. education.jlab.org/index.html, Science Education at Jefferson Lab. Try the interactive games, students will love them, and learn about atoms and elements in the process. npr.org/programs/sfkids, Science Friday Kids Connection, lots of activity here, each week new projects are posted for students to investigate. Students are asked questions and provided with online resources, articles, and activities that can be used to find the answers. Also check out the programs from previous weeks, send a question to a science mentor, or contribute to the Science Talk Forum. ncsu.edu/ncsu/pam/science_house, the Science House. Check out the science activities offered at the Learning Outreach Center of the College of Physical and Mathematical Sciences at North Carolina State University. stemworks.org/lessons.html, Science Lesson Plans, lesson plans on a variety of science topics and areas. yn.la.ca.us/cec/cec/sci-hi-hi.html, Science Mini Lessons, investigations for grades 9 to 12 in a variety of science areas, complete with objectives, materials, procedure, and follow-up questions. luc.edu/libraries/mollenkrat/tt/cur_lesson plans.htm, Science Power 2000, lesson plans and activities for K-8 science, astronomy, biology, chemistry, earth science, and physics, plus extensive links to resources in natural science, astronomy and space, and earth science. chem.lapeer.org, Science Resource Center, a nice collection of science resources such as demonstrations, labs, and teaching tips. education.indiana.edu/cas/tt/tthmpg.html, Teacher Talk Forum, lesson plans on a variety of science topics. teams.lacoe.edu/teachers/index.asp, Teams Distance Learning K-12 lesson plans, from the Los Angeles County Office of Education, a listing of lesson plan resources in science, mathematics, and other areas. life.uiuc.edu/plantbio/cell, the virtual cell, dissect a virtual plant cell and view internal organelles. sciencecourseware.org/blol, virtual fly lab, allows you to cross flies with different characteristics, and immediately see the results. whitman.edu/biology/vpd/main.html, the virtual pig dissection, explore the anatomy and various systems of the pig, by means of an online dissection. faldo.atmos.uiuc.edu/weather/weather.html, the weather unit, a series of lessons developed for grades 2, 4 dealing with such topics as precipitation, temperature, and climate. Sitesforteachers.com, websites and resources for teachers, Check here for lesson plans, ideas, activities, and links to resources. Library.thinkquest.org/11924, Wizards Lab. Information and lesson material is available on such physics topics as motion, light, sound, electricity and magnetism. Science lesson plan websites. awesomelibrary.org/scienceg.html, Awesome Library provides carefully reviewed K-12 education resources and lesson plans covering astronomy, biology, botany, ecology, earth sciences, problem solving and general science topics. btc.montana.edu/series/html/edactivities.html, NASA/MSU Bosman Series Project, Classroom Ready Astronomy Activities and Lessons for Levels K-12. faculty.washington.edu/choodler/expert.html, Neuroscience for Kids, experiments and activities as well as teacher lesson plans about the nervous system and brain. inetbiz2.tripod.com/middle school CIENCE teaching aids, middle school science teaching aids, experiments, web quests and worksheets. matse1.matse.illinois.edu Mast Materials Science and Technology Teachers Workshop, lesson plans for teaching materials for science in elementary through high school. re-energy.ca, re-energy.ca, a renewable energy education kit. Download lesson plans and construction plans for working models of solar ovens, wind turbines, and water wheels. reachoutmichigan.org/funexperiments/age-subject/subject.html, reach out. Math Science, K-12 Science Lessons by Subject, Grade and Alphabetical Title. sci_wiz.tripod.com, Ian Reed's Science Wizards, Ideas for Demonstrations and Experiments for Use in Science Classes geared to all ages/abilities. science.education.nih.gov/supplements, NIH Curriculum Supplements, free, interactive teaching units that combine scientific research discoveries from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and National Institutes of Health, with instructional materials. ScienceGems.com, Frank Potter's Science Gems, science resources sorted by category, subcategory, and grade level. users.rcn.com/fvirzi/x-word-home.htm, Chemistry and Biology Crosswords, a collection of crossword puzzles for high school level students. Biology lesson plan websites. animallearn.org, Animal Learn, dissection alternatives and humane educational materials. bill-westbrook.tripod.com, Growing African Violets at School, provides kids, teachers, and volunteers an online information service about growing African violets at school. courseworld.com/behome.html, Courseworld, Biology, a research tool for high school teachers and students. ebiomedia.com, Biomedia Associates, microscopy, close-ups, dissections, animations, videos, and multimedia of the living world. forsa.org, Forsea Institute of Marine Science, award-winning hands-on/minds-on activities, lessons, instructional materials, and resources for teaching science through the marine environment. grows.ups.edu, Project Grows, genetic research on western salmon, provides protocols for high school students to use molecular techniques to do authentic genetic research on endangered salmon populations, as well as distinguishing Pacific native from non-native mussels. iteachbio.com, I Love Science, provides a web-centered learning environment for biology students covering the living environment, anatomy, physiology, and marine biology. lessonplansinc.com, Lesson Plans Incorporated, science education resource for high school teachers. nps.gov/ever/for-teachers/4-6-activity-guide.htm, South Florida National Park Activity Guide for Teachers, K4-6 curriculum-based environmental education programs and classroom resources including information about the Everglades ecosystem. pbs.org/teachers/science-tech, PBS Science and Technology Teacher Source, lesson plans, online activities, classroom resources and professional development projects. Perchan.com/biology, Gondar Design Biology, online lessons written by a biology teacher, Nigel Perchan, covering many topics. Sites.google.com/site/biology FSCC Tremel, biology.fscc.tremel, online companion to a general biology course taught at Fort Scott Community College. Sunsafetyforkids.org, Sun Safety for Kids, Guide for Developing School or Camp Sun Safety Programs. TEACHHEALTHK-12.uthscsa.edu, Positively Aging. This curriculum includes lesson plans and activities for teaching at high school level. Physics lesson plan websites. Frontiernet.net/JL Kiefer/physical_labs.html, Brockport High School Physics Labs, nearly 40 lab experiments which could be used as demonstrations or ready-to-go labs. InteractiveScienceTeacher.com, Interactive Science Teacher, offers a series of science lesson plans providing original lessons for 8th grade students. mb-soft.com/public/physical0.html, Practical High School Physics Lessons, Useful Applications of Physics Knowledge. members.tripod.com/tilde-flyswatt/index.html, Ideas for Physical Science Teachers, links to some lesson plan sites. mrteverett.com/physics/index.asp, Mr. Everett's web page, Physics, downloadable lesson plans on a range of topics. physics.rutgers.edu/hex_old/visit/lesson/lesson_index.html, Physics and Astronomy lesson plans, over 200 lesson plans written for grades K-12. teachnet.com/lesson/science/physics, Physics lesson plans at teachnet.com.